Look, guys, Iraq is ready. HCL is done. HCL is done. That means Iraq is ready. As I say here, Parliament completes the first reading of the draft law into the first amendment to the tripartite budget law and adjourns its session. What is the first amendment of the tripartite budget in Iraq for 2023, 24, 25? The first amendment to the tripartite budget in Iraq for 23, 24, 25 is scheduled for its first reading during the Iraqi Parliament session on Tuesday, November 26. The amendment aims to resolve issues related to Kurdistan's oil exports. This is forwarded by Majeed, and he only updated this not so long ago. First, read the quoted post. FYI, this article from yesterday saying tomorrow morning, today, Tuesday. Well, it's Wednesday here in New Zealand. The Parliament amendment to the budget will be about Kurdistan, HCL. Now they are saying the amendment is done. It means HCL is passed. What does it say here? Al-Hindi added that the amendment includes several main items aimed at regulating the adjustment of the cost of oil production and transportation as the Federal Ministry of Finance compensates the Kurdistan regional government for the cost of production and transportation according to a mechanism based on calculating the fair guessed costs for each oil field separately, which will be determined by a specialized international technical advisory body chosen by agreement between the Federal Ministry of Oil and the Ministry of Natural Resources in the region. Woohoo! They're ready. They're ready. Now, if 28th, according to what Bruce says, is that everyone will receive the R&R on Thanksgiving night, and then for the humanitarians to get their blessings for the RV, could be on the same day. Oh, we're gonna party. We're gonna party. Also, I will put the link to Simply Lynn's live. And so she's talking about everyone's waiting for the Supreme Court for the Brunson case. They don't need to wait for the Supreme Court because she talks about Trump at a particular rally where he keeps saying Philadelphia, but the people didn't know what he was talking about. Remember, Washington is corrupt. Who overrules Washington? Philadelphia. It's already been done. It's already been done. So make sure you got all your currencies all ready. Make sure you got your IDs, all your documents and stuff. Because I reckon the RV is going to be this week. Great news. Well, we just have to see the outcome. I mean, I was going to post Sky Prince was saying that military gave her some information, but she didn't have permission to share it. Basically, what she was saying is they're waiting for the Supreme Court. But as I said, Washington is corrupt. And Trump, he said in his rally, well, I haven't seen it, but I was listening to Simply Lynn this morning, and she said in one of his rallies, he keeps saying Philadelphia. So I reckon we might get an announcement today, maybe. Yes, the military already know. Sky, I like her, but she don't know everything. That is just great news. Yep. So I reckon we should have the RV this week. God loves his children so much, and he has chosen us for a particular reason. So be happy. Yes, party. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh yes. Remember, we're in a movie. They're all fake. Except Trump.
RV, yeah. Well, it was supposed to see some sort of a Trump announcement today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. So on RV, all I can give you is probabilities. High window of probability. High window of probability number one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. High probability number two, the 6th of this month, which of December, which is next Friday. High probability number three is Iraq's Independence Day is December 10th. High probability number four is December 20th because, oh God, there's so many reasons, but Sadani Sadani's the Prime Minister of Iraq, who's been the best thing that Iraq had in 25 years. Sadani said that he needed it all done, wrapped up, and completed with the Iraqi dinar by the 20th of December. My understanding, a friend of mine's and I, Kurd, which is the northern part of Iraq where the oil's all pumped, he owns an oil field. Lean back, a friend of mine, it's a buddy of mine in Iraq that it's his buddy, and we got the privilege talking to him. And he said he was already paid in Iraq in the new gold-backed currency in Iraq. He couldn't tell us the exchange rate, and he said that he was really surprised and impressed with how much he was paid. It was a lot more than he expected. So in country, for big guys, whales that own their own oil field, I'm pretty sure they get their butt shined because they own an oil field, have already gone. And they said that the new currency, that Kurd told me that the new currency was already in their system and would be live in bank machines by the 20th of December. So Sadani said it, and a Kurd that owns an oil field said it. A Kurd they were interviewing on Frank 26 at the 140 hour and 46 minute mark of one of his shows. I can't remember which one it was, but they also mentioned that the people were being educated. I know there's a video for the past few months going around to the general public in Iraq telling them about the upcoming change out of the money. Also, other foreign countries like Egypt have been receiving notice that, hey, if you're doing business with Iraq, it's about to get a lot more expensive. That values were all going to start changing across the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. Be ready, beware. Notices are starting to go out. Iraq is boiling over. As you may or may not know, Iraq is the lead currency on the first basket of 5. That is to say that the revaluation process is being divided up into baskets. Basket number 1 contains 5 currencies, which is the Zimbabwe, the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, the Indonesian rupiah, and the renminbi, also known as the yuan or the Chinese yuan. The currency rates are as follows. If you are a holder of Iraqi dinar, you're looking at $3.50 to $4 on the foreign exchange market once it's released, in my opinion. That's based on before the Gulf War, the Iraqi dinar was $3.22. So a reinstatement or an RI, reinstatement of their value would be $3.22. Then throw in cost of living, 22 years interest, cost of living, whatever we call it, comes out at about $3.50 to $4 for the Iraqi dinar. Vietnamese dong, 1957, right before the Vietnamese War, Vietnamese dong was $2.22 to the US dollar. So an RI, a reinstatement, comes first. So they reinstate them at $2.22, put in 70 plus years of interest and cost of living and blah, 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 blah. It comes out about $3.50, maybe $4 spike also. So very similar in payout to the dinar. Indonesian rupiah, kind of a sleeper. It was said until today, I found a new rate for it, but it was said that if you had $1 million Indonesian rupiah bill, I have one, it's 2 500s, but anyway, they said that you would get about 1,100,000, 1.1 in an exchange. Now they're saying it's 2.3. So for every 1 million, you'd get 2.3 million in return. So that's a new number that I only saw today. Can't prove it. I hope it's true because I have some. Moving on. The Zimbabwe used to sleep around the crowd. Everybody wants to know about the Zimbabwe. It's highly controversial. The low end for the Zimbabwe is 15 to 30, 40 million. That's the bottom end predicated on project. If you don't have projects, you're going to get a bottom end figure that's predicated on a 100 T note or 250 T notes. So a $100 trillion bill, and again, on the Zimbabwe, the only ones that are valuable are 2008 AA. So if you have the new aggro checks, they go up a crumb, but the revaluation process is really going to take place on the Zimbabwe 2008 AA because that's when China bought Zimbabwe's reserves. China basically bought George Bush Sr. did a scan of the Earth. They put some sort of a satellite up that did ground penetrating radar, and they mapped out the Earth's oil, gas, gold, silver, rhodium, palladium, rare earths, and 99% of it was in Zimbabwe. So they recently did a valuation of each country's bank, their central bank, and they said, well, Germany's like 800 billion, and Spain is 900 billion, and France they're at $1 trillion, and everybody was in the high billions or low trillions, and then they got to Zimbabwe, 804 quadrillion dollars versus every other country in the world. I mean, it was just hands down obscenely far and apart. So bottom end on the Zimbabwe is predicated on 2008 when the deal was cut with China, who bought all of those reserves, and so the Zimbabwe has to be on a 2008 bill, has to be AA series, and it could be 10 trillion, or 20, 30, 50 trillion, whatever you got, as long as it's 2008 AA. And high end 1-to-1 exchange on two bills only. The $100 trillion, $100 trillion worth, however you add that up, $100 trillion worth and $100 trillion worth, they'll exchange 1-to-1. Yes, you get $200 trillion. Why would they do that? Everybody says, well, there's not a train car big enough. Well, it's all digital. And they do that because immediately the 80%, first of all, taxes are taken out, so they get paid. Then the 80% requirement for project funding, for humanitarian funding, comes right off the top. So they stick 80% of $200 trillion right in their pocket. When I say they, I'm thinking government, sovereign councils, the greedy, the controllers of the planet. Who knows? I mean, I don't know who they is all the time. But so the Zimbabwe, that's the high end, that's the low end. So if they go to the high end, you're only going to be allowed to exchange $200 trillion worth. However you add that up, whatever your bill denominations are, doesn't matter. As long as they're 2008 AA series and it adds up to $200 trillion, you'll get 20T to stick in your pocket and go away with. So I wouldn't be too concerned about how much interest the bank is going to pay you if you've got $20 trillion in your pocket, or even if you only make $5 or $10 million in your pocket. What crumb the bank is going to throw you back in the way of interest is old school thinking. Get away with it. Do away with it. It's not going to be that way anymore. So high, $200 trillion. Low, 15 to 30, $40 million. Middle, 2.76 billion per 100 T note is what I came out with. So on, if you have 100 T, they'll go to 200 T notes, no more. Even if you have a train car load, they're not going to let you bring in any more. So for all of us that spent a lot of money, sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. I don't know why. That spent a lot of money buying hundreds of, Zimbabwe notes Joke's on us because the people that only bought 2 get the same amount of money. So that's the low, the middle, and the high. The final RV currency in the basket is the renminbi, which is the Chinese yuan or yuan, and I don't know what it's running. So there's your first basket. There's your RV. That's what I got.
Let's get into Iraq. Or should I? Let's start with bond first. Then we'll go back to Iraq. I have a number of bond contacts that have reached out today to let me know that they're expecting. 2 of them said major update tomorrow. Most of them just said, hey, we're expecting an update, a timing update, and a procedures update as to how they are handling that first 1%. I don't know what that means. I hope to find out tomorrow. They are expecting an update tomorrow. Depending on which contact I talk to, it is ranging anywhere from mid-afternoon to later in the evening for those updates, which means I probably won't have an update in the morning. I might because of time zones, but I should definitely have one by tomorrow night from what the bond folks are hearing or expecting. It could even be payment. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, now back to it. Centered, balance, resist the evil ones. That's right, cue ball. Al-Mashadani directs the lifting of the stalled laws to the presidency of the House of Representatives. They are pushing them all. They're getting off stuck. This is very important because we're going to hit 1 or 2 more in here that will get you excited. Part of those stalled laws are HCL, guys. In preparation for the resumption of exports, Parliament will raise the cost of producing oil in the 2025 budget. It used to be in there that $6 a barrel would go back to the folks getting the oil out of the ground in the Kurdish region, but inflation, they just weren't able to produce it. So some of that oil was getting sold on the black market in order to be able to meet those costs. They've adjusted in the budget. They're now getting an allotment for 16. Why is this important? Now that region can actually make money on the production of oil. The bonus, or what it's sold for, the difference between the $70 a barrel will show and that 16 is profit for the government that they use for projects supporting the currency, feeding the people, building roads, etc. This is one of the biggest sticking points we had between Baghdad and Erbil, which means you can expect HCL to suddenly come together. I'm very excited about these 2, and we've got another one that I really like too. We're going to get to them. Relationship on the closure of the platform. There's no sudden transition, but rather a gradual transition that will be completed within 2 weeks. Here's your banking changes in Iraq. The governor of the central bank, Ali Al-Alaq, announced today, Monday, that the monetary position in Iraq is at its best. While he pointed out that foreign transfers for trade purposes are moving smoothly after the application of the new system, he confirmed the existence of agreement with 4 companies to launch a new mechanism for travel and treatment transfers. And stressed that the transition from electronic platform stage is not as surprising as it is circulating, but rather gradually. The process began in 2024. 5% remained and will be completed within the next 2 weeks. Before Victory Day, there are a whole lot of folks that say all these coming together mean rate change. I believe them to be accurate. We're going to add another one with Biden leaving officially. Elena Rumchiki assignment in Iraq ends as the ambassador from the U.S. We don't know who Trump is putting in there yet, but you can expect a very pro-revaluation, although it should be already done before that person ever gets to serve as ambassador. But a side note, I would like to point out that a number of revaluations in the Middle East in countries have occurred while she was either the State Department representative or the ambassador. So she's kind of famous for that, which to me is interesting. It might be your swan song on the way out the door. Hopefully in the next few days. What else do we, okay. That's your RV related news. Let me turn this banner off. Bobby Neese, I'm telling you, I think before, but I think that's our back date right now. At least that's my belief right now based on what I'm hearing. And all Bobby said was December 10th. That's Victory Day for Iraq. I very much think it'll be done before. I hope and pray.
This is forwarded by Fallowsophy. She has a Telegram channel. She's a psychic medium. And she also has a YouTube channel, Jennifer Fellow Doring. This was a beautiful message that she was sending out to the humanitarians. Listen, Tensions and emotions are high because Thanksgiving is coming. Hold your tongue and understand that everyone has their scars. Some are upset about upcoming family gatherings, some upset because certain people no longer attend. Either way, we here are a new family. We support each other. Through our common interests, we have found a group of people who truly understand the path we have been on. We have all lived, loved, lost, and waited. It is what it is. We carry on. Just keep breathing. The sun eventually comes. Open up the window and let it in now. Grab hold of whatever happiness you can find and let the rest of the darkness go. You do have a family here. Be thankful for the group of people in your life. I hope to see lots of pictures of the food you've made and the table settings in chat this week. Share your creations with us. Darkness only wins if you refuse to light your candle. Shine bright, angels. The world and this family needs you now. Love to you all, Jen.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this investment. Slow spitting fast, I can roast, I can gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of